What is good, everyone? This is your host, Deanna Radulescu with Label Free Podcast. Live your best life. You must, but label free. I'm super excited. We've got a very cool guest. Sit down, relax, drive, whatever. Just tune in and listen to my conversation with this very cool chick. Her work has been seen on Forbes, Time Magazine. Some of her recent clients are the Public Theater, Kristen Nagy, Tony nominated. She is a pianist, a classical pianist at the age 3, and she lives in New York. Please welcome Yuko Kudo to the show. Yuko, thank you for joining us today. Can you please tell the audience a little bit more about your background?
Yeah, thank you so much, Deanna, for inviting me. I am super excited. And hello, everyone listening to this. As Deanna said, I am Yuko. I am originally from Japan. And 3 things that I used to want it to be that I love to tell everyone is that before I moved to New York, or before I moved to United States, I wanted to be a Disney princess voice.
Oh my gosh.
I wanted to be next Mariah Carey.
Oh, wow.
And I wanted to be, wow. Oh no. Why am I stacking this? Wow, it's been such a long time I share this. I wanted to be the voice of Disney princess, and I loved Sister Act wanting to inspire me to move here. Yeah, there you go. And I wanted to be the next Mariah Carey.
I love it. So I've been to Japan. I was there for about a month with my late husband, and when I was there, I picked up a lot of the language. The only thing I remember now is "Domo arigato gashimashita." Like this hello. You know.
Domo arigato gozaimasu.
Yes. And so because we studied, I studied martial arts for almost 20 years. I'm a 2nd degree black belt, and that's where my style of karate came from Japan. So I loved it.
There you go.
I loved it. They were so friendly. I mean, it was just a completely different culture. So have you been back recently?
Yeah, I just went back last month.
Oh, wow. Oh, how is it over there with everything that just the pandemic and all that?
Yeah, it's quite different, and people are still very careful. And it took me extra 4 or 5 hours at airport because of the process.
Oh,
so it was a little bit stressful in as far as the commute or travel, but experience there. I got to spend time with my family and a couple of my friends, and it was beautiful.
I bet. It is a beautiful country. We went to Kyoto, Tokyo, flew into Osaka, and then we went to the island. Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank.
Okinawa.
We went to Okinawa. Wow, that is so different than the mainland. Very
Absolutely.
Good.
Yeah, it was the country of its own first.
Yes. But anyways, enough of that. So tell us a little bit about your artist journey. I feel like artists, we have it. So I consider myself an artist in a different way. And it's a little bit of a challenging road for us.
It's a really challenging. That's a very on point expression to that. For me, I started as a classical trained pianist, but I was someone who would play piano and singing at the same time when I was practicing, as opposed to what I'm supposed to practice. That's my childhood. And then once I moved to United States, I got more into theater. I got more into musical theater. I got into film and TV, commercial. So my journey has really changed. And when I moved to New York in 2013, that's when I really explored the musical theater and wanted to get into the Broadway route. And then 2016 hit. That's when I realized my art is not that.
No.
My art is using for healing. It is a space for people to connect. It is for people to explore who they are. And because I practiced so many different things until that point, and the photography, videography, those are also added to that. So people are often confused about what I do as an artist. Right? What do you do? What's your expression? And like, I do everything and anything that my art calls me to do. So in relationship to label free, like I started telling people I am a professional multi-hyphenated human. I don't choose art. Art choose me.
Yeah, I mean, but that's so true, and I feel like you're honoring yourself and you're being true to yourself when you allow yourself to follow your heart in that regard and let it take you to where you're supposed to go. So I think that's beautiful. I'm sure it's probably a little confusing because and this is the reason why I started the show, because a lot of people always want, like, they ask you, well, what do you do? What's your whatever? They want to
Yep.
put somewhere. They want to put you in a box like, okay, I'm comfortable knowing that this person fits here, where they told me where I think they should be, and not where I feel like we should just live very free and just kind of embrace who we are and be authentic and not have to, fight these expectations that society has on us.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I think it's easier for people to find a connecting point, right? If you have the one thing that you identify with. Oh, that's something I do too. Or there's like a similar thing with, oh, you're from so and so town. My friend is
Yeah.
from there. And it's easier to start the relationship with it. So I think that's what people are looking for.
Yes, to connect on some kind of level. So tell us like a little some about the stuff that your personal story and healing journey to bring awareness for diversity and inclusion, immigration story, women's rights, mental wellness. That's a lot.
It is a lot, right? But I think that's what being an artist is about. You go through a lot. It is about embracing the whole human experience. And in order for me to really tap into my creative work, I had to understand who I am. I had to really lean into I am a woman, I am 4'10", I am Japanese, I am immigrant, and everything that I am actually adds to people's experience, add to my artwork. It's not I am so and so thing. I am XYZ thing. I am that and more.
Right.
So my solo show, I had a couple of solo show in the past, and everything is about my personal experience and related to creative healing journey or my immigrant and my being an immigrant and being in art. What does visa process looks like?
Oh,
What does that process of wanting to work in certain production, but I can't because I'm not U.S. citizen. Like those are a story that embedded in that show, and
sure.
it's been really powerful. And I've gotten some powerful feedback from folks who have seen it.
I would imagine. I mean, yeah, because those are a lot of different heavy things, like the visa process. Yeah. What is good, everyone? This is your host, Deanna Radulescu with Label Free Podcast. Live your best life. You must live label free. Can we get a round of applause today? Woo! Today I'm excited to announce Manscaped launched their Ultra Premium Collection. Believe it or not, it's for your not so private parts. I'm talking about a leveled up hygiene routine with your favorite manly scent. And let me tell you something, oh, it smells so good. My man wears this every day. This is an all-in-one skin and hair care kit for the everyday man and covers you from head to toe. Manscaped is trusted below the waist. Now trust them with the rest. Join the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by going to manscaped.com and use the code LABELFREE20 for 20% off and free shipping. And enjoy. Yeah, my fiance and I watched the 90 Day Fiance, and where it's about, I don't know, are you familiar with the show?
I'm familiar with the people who love the show.
I didn't necessarily. I'm hooked on it now because it's just so interesting how people find love in another country and that whole process they have to go through. I personally don't think I could do that. I mean, maybe I could, but like that, it's pretty crazy, and that visa process is pretty intense.
It's
So,
intense.
so did you now your visa process? Like, talk to us a little bit about that. I mean, that because
Yeah. So I came here as an international student with a student visa, and I started with that. And right towards the end, I had my OPT, which is a working permit for folks who are allowed to work in the field that you studied in. Right. And then towards the end, I was talking to my agent, my manager, trying to get them to be my sponsor to apply for artist visa. But because they're a smaller scale agency, they weren't able to support me in that sense.
Yeah.
And I was looking for things. I was crying every time I go to a lawyer's office. Then I got message from Green Card Lottery. And I was one of those very fortunate person who was able to get that. So I've been here as a permanent resident since then.
Wow, congratulations. That's awesome. So there are other ways that people can get a visa instead of getting married after 90 days. I'm just saying. So you've also collaborated with Civic Hall, United Voices for Peace, Mondo, New York City, Women in Music, Stronger with Music, as an artist, producer, and speaker. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, those are such a beautiful collaboration and partnership. And all the relationship and events, the speaking, it is about how can we use and collaborate art and create healing, create more equitable relationship in the working space,
Yeah.
or create more mental health. So all of them has been really inspiring, really vulnerable, and empowering all at the same time.
I love that. Do you think that there's more healing that needs to be done with like around artists and creatives? You've mentioned that a couple times. I know we talked about that a little bit before we started recording your healing journey. So what does that mean to you for you yourself and other people in this space?
Yeah. And right now, the immediate thing that pops up in my head is the impact of the pandemic, of course, especially for the performing artists. The Broadway theater has been shut down for a very long time. People are barely getting back, even right now. If somebody in the cast or crew got tested positive, it could put on pause for God knows how long, right? So we're still exploring, experimenting, and we are really trying to change the hostile environment that has been there for decades, and trying to see what can we do to create ethical workspace, what can we do to create more space of creating that actors and artists can paid more.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. And so, what are you doing? What are you currently doing now? Like, what are you working on now?
Yeah, I'm right now working on this documentary called Dear Asian Girls,
Oh,
and I'm very excited to share this. It is about the story of three Asian female theater artists. All of them are not from New York. One is from Philippines, one is from Canada, and one is from Japan. All three of them came to New York City to pursue the dream to be on Broadway. So it addresses Asian representation in commercial theater, as well as the journey of immigrant artists and amplifying the voice of artists in general.
yes, I love that. And so, I'm assuming that you're in have a part in it.
I am actually producing and directing this film,
Oh,
but I will be singing an ending song.
very cool. So, when is this going to be coming out?
Uh, we are in production still, so I can't have the definite date of this is the release date quite yet, but I will definitely let you know.
Fantastic. Well, where can people find you or connect with you so that they can follow this journey and see this documentary?
Amazing. Yeah, you can go to www.untappedstorytellers.com, which is the production company's site, and or you can go to www.yukoitslovelivelife.com, and that's my personal artist work, and you can find it either way.
Awesome. Well, I'll make sure I put those links in the show notes, you guys, so don't hesitate to go ahead and reach out to Yuko and follow her journey, especially if you're an artist or creative and you understand the path that we are on together to become successful and make our impact in the world. It's important that we support each other throughout our journey, right?
Exactly.
Well, it's almost time. We're getting a little bit close here on time. And so before I like to wrap things up, I always like to ask for any last words of wisdom or advice that you'd like to leave with the audience.
Yeah. Um, be generous with your storytelling.
Ooh, you're gonna keep it short and sweet. That's it.
And where I come from is like people really assume, right? Especially artists and creative, because we have such a big idea, we just want to blur out our thing, but people don't really understand that for the most part. So I often tell myself, if I'm explaining this to my nephew who doesn't speak English, how do I explain that? How can I make it easy for people to understand? So be generous with the storytelling.
Yeah, I think, I mean, I think we live in a world where the better we can tell our story, the more captive we make our audience. Because we live in such a fast-paced world, and there are so many stories that we can look at and watch on social media all day long that it's really important to make sure that you are utilizing that skill and really refining it so that you can capture that specific audience that you're looking for.
Absolutely.
Well, Yuko, thank you so much for being a guest today and sharing your story and letting us know what you have going on and keep us up to date on things and when this goes live or your documentary goes live so that we can share it with the audience and keep them up informed and that we can support you in your journey. So we thank you for your time today, and we look forward to hearing what's next for you.
Thank you so much, Deanna. Appreciate you so much.
You're welcome. You guys, this is your host, Deanna Radulescu with Label Free Podcast. Live your best life. You must live label free. Please don't forget to comment, share, rate, review, follow, all those good things. And I'll be back soon with more dynamic guests.